All right, students, welcome to our presentation today. My name is Kevin Swearingen, and I represent Cibola High School, but I also represent the Yuma Union High School District, and we have other counselors that are in our meeting today. So, Kofa, please introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Kathy Ingersoll, and I'm the Director of Guidance over at Copa High School, and I've been loving these Yuma Union High School District-wide presentations. Thank you for the opportunity to be here.
Thank you, Kofa. Yuma High School.
Hello, everyone. My name is Martha Remenar. I'm one of the counselors here at Yuma High School, and I work with students whose last names start with A all the way to Garcia.
Hi, everyone. I'm Miss Amaya. I'm also a counselor at Yuma High School, and I work with last names that start with G-A-R-D all the way to O. Welcome to high school, everyone.
Awesome. Thank you, Yuma. What about Cibola?
Hi, my name is Carrie Lofton, and I'm the Director of Counseling at Cibola High School. We are so looking forward to working with you. Welcome.
Awesome. So students, as you can tell, we're representing Yuma Union High School District for COFA, Yuma, and Cibola in our presentation today. Let me go ahead and share my presentation with you. So just give me a moment to set all this up. And Ms. Lofton, if you could just tell me if my presentation is up.
Yes, Mr. Swearingen, looks good.
Awesome, thank you. So again, welcome, possible incoming freshmen to our schools here, Yuma, Copa, and Cibola. We're welcoming you to our presentation. Today's presentation is about incoming freshman registration and making course selections. All right, so the beginning process of registering for high school is going online and filling out the registration paperwork. Yuma School District 1 and Crane Elementary School District, they're not the same as Yuma Union High School District, so we don't necessarily share registration information across those districts. So that's why there is an online registration process in order to register for high school. Students, your parents can access this information at www.yumaunion.org, a really easy website to remember. And when you go on the website, you're going to see a graphic that looks like this, online 9th grade registration. You would click on the graphic or click on the words, and then it would take you down here, and this is what the page would look like for filling out the online registration information. Pretty simple, pretty easy to accomplish, but that is one of the steps on how to get registered for high school. Let's quickly talk about what do you need to graduate from a Yuma Union High School District. In high school, we use credits. We have a credit-based system, not just the grades. If you pass a class, if you get A, B, C, or D, then you earn a credit. It's actually a half a credit for every class that you pass. And at the end of your senior year, if you have 22 credits total, then that's how we know that you're ready for graduation, okay? Middle school, you don't really have credits. You earn grades and it goes from there. But in high school, it's about earning credits towards graduation. You'll notice here's a list of the things that you would need credits in, such as 4 English credits. Now, in your middle school or your junior high, you might not call that an English class. You might call it an English language arts class. But in high school, we call those, in college, we call those English classes. So as I said, you need 4 English credits. You're going to go to high school for generally 4 years. That means you would need, every year you would need a credit for English. You need 4 math credits. You need 3 science credits. You need 3 social studies credits. You need 1 PE/health credit. You need 1 fine arts or a CTE credit. CTE stands for Career Technical Education. And if you're going to go to an in-state university, CTE credit is fine. If you're going to go out of state, you would have to check with that school because some schools, they want you to specifically have a fine arts credit within while you're going to high school. So that would be something to think about. You don't have to memorize that at this point. Counselors will be talking to you along those 4 years about all these things. And then finally, you need 6 elective credits. As I go over here, of those 6, if you're going to go to a university straight out of high school, you're not going to go to community college, you're not going to go to the military, you're not going to take a couple years off, you're going to go straight to the university. Of those 6 elective credits, 2 of them need to be in a foreign language course or the same language course. Okay, so again, high school uses something called credits. You will be seeing a graphic or something similar to this over the 4 years. So we're just introducing it to you right now so that you're aware. All right, here is what a typical schedule or types of classes that you would be taking at Yuma, Kofa, or Cibola. There are some differences between those schools, and we're going to talk about that in a second. But high school works on something called a semester system. In middle school or junior high, more than likely you're working on what's called a quarter system or a 9-week system, and you have 4 quarters during the school year. In high school, we have 2 semesters. It goes from August to December, and the second semester goes from January to May. In December, the grades you have in those classes in December is what earns you your credit, and second semester, the grades that you have in May is what earn you your credit. That's when you get, in December and May, you get something called a report card, and that's the one that shows the grade for earning credit. Along the way, you're going to get something called a progress report, and it's just as it sounds. It's how am I progressing through the class. But the grade that you earn in December and May, that's what earns you the credit. As you see on the screen, there is your English classes that you would be taking. It's called IGSE. It would be 1 semester of IGSE English Language and another semester of IGSE English Literature. In math, you'll have a math class, and it says level 1 on there because that's a typical placement for freshmen. There are other options for math based on what math you're doing in middle school, but typically it's our math level 1. You'll have a science class that typically is biology. You'll have a world history or AP world history class. AP stands for advanced placement. Then underneath that is PE, health, or dance to count for your PE credit. Again, there's some differences between the school, and we'll talk about that in a second. And then finally under there is a spot for an elective, for choosing a class that you want to take based on your interests. Now, Kofa, can you tell us what's different than what you see right up here at your school?
I would love to. At Kofa High School, we do not require you to take PE Health credit your freshman year. You can take it any of the 4 years. That's your choice. The other thing is we have what's called JROTC here, and that your freshman year can count as a PE credit also.
Okay, wonderful, Kofa. Yuma, is there any differences that you see there?
The only option is PE is optional for the first year. You could take 2 electives in your schedule if you want that, or you can begin with PE first year.
We also have the advanced placement biology, so you can either take regular biology or AP biology.
Wonderful, thank you, Yuma. So as students, as you notice, this is what you're looking at, is a typical schedule. So, or typical types of classes you take your freshman year. There are some differences between the individual schools, and when you talk to those individual schools, they'll share those differences with you. Okay, now since we've talked about registration and credits and what a typical schedule looks like, let's talk about how do you make those course selections. Each school is going to have an event or a process in order for you to get that information to us about what your choices are for courses. Students are going to be selecting what's called core, which is like your English, math, science, and social studies classes, elective, and what we call alternate courses. Students, an alternate course is if I could not get the course that I really wanted or courses that I really wanted for my electives, what else would I be willing to take? It's very important when Yuma, Kofa, or Cibola are asking you for those alternate courses that you've researched the information that those schools are providing so that you make a good choice for yourself. It's the school's intent to try to give you the choices that you're really, really wanting or that you're really looking to take. But again, you remember, incoming freshmen, you're competing with seniors, juniors, and sophomores in many of those classes. So sometimes we have to go to those alternate courses and see what's available there and allow you to take those in place of maybe your number 1 or your number 2 choice. So as it says there, please make sure you really like those alternate selections because sometimes we have to use them, okay? And then finally there it says schedules for students are generally created over the summer. The reason I'm telling you that because I don't want you to think, okay, my mom's registered me, I've made my course selections at my high school, and maybe a week goes by, and then you contact the school and say, hey, can you tell me what my schedule is going to be? Well, those schedules won't generally be taken care of or created until roughly the summer. During the summer, there will be some information that comes to your home about what is the next steps. And some of the schools, they might actually send you the schedule that you're going to have, but all that information will come during the summer. So you're not going to be able to find out what your schedule is like, next week or next month. All right? All right, here are all the websites for the different schools in our district. They all follow the same pattern right here that we shared about the district website, www.yumaunion.org. And you'll notice in order to find out another school's website, all you have to do is put a slash and then the school name. So here is COFA, here is Yuma, and here is Cibola. Now I'm going to show you Cibola, and I'm going to show you COFA, and I'm going to show you Yuma as well. Because what we're looking for, or what I'm trying to share with you, is this graphic right here. This is your clue on where you would find, or your parents would find, the information about how to register and how to make your course selection. You'll see you can click on the graphic, or you can click on the words, and it will take you to the information for registration and course selections. That's Cibola. Here is COFA's, again, the graphic and the words. Here is Yuma High School. Yuma High School, it's actually the second picture, and you'll notice from my screen, I'm hitting this little arrow over here, and then there is the graphic, and there are the words. If I click on it, for Yuma High School, here's where it shows the steps for registering, exploring your course options, and actually making your selections, and there's links and videos in there you can watch. So there is, let me go to COFA and show you. Here is COFA's information, nice and colorful, and it gives you, you just follow through, look at the information, and register and make your course selection. Here is Cibola High School. If I click on the information, we have some videos and some steps of what to do, registering your student, hit the link, making your course selections, and there's actually a video on how you use our Google form in order to do that, and then there's some links to the information. So all the schools have it written out clear and concise on what to do for registration and for course selection. All right, I told you that schools would have some events. And here are those, what we call drive-through events, where you and your parent come in your vehicle, you actually stay in your vehicle and you drive up to the school. And if you have any questions about electives or about registration, or you need a question answered, or you want to know about a class, you can come to these drive-through events. Yuma High School is having theirs February 23rd, 24th, and 25th between 4 and 6 p.m. COFA High School is having theirs March 10th, March 17th, from 5 to 7:30 p.m. These are on their campus. And Cibola High School is still to be determined if we're going to, or when we're going to have a drive-through event. You would need to make sure you pay attention to our social media or your present school social media for that information. So again, if you have a question about something, these drive-through events are wonderful to attend. Okay, let's talk very quickly about, again, I already said it's about credits. High school is about earning credits, which means passing your classes. And I'm going to give you 3 easy steps on how to do it. I promise you it's this easy. Number 1, you got to attend class. It's hard to hear a teacher's lecture when we're back to in-person learning. It's hard if you miss a day to hear the teacher's lecture that they made that day or the presentation they did that day because you weren't there. So attendance is key. When you're here, you got a better chance of learning the material that the teacher is presenting and applying it to your work. Number 2, complete all your work. Give it your best shot, study, do the best you can on your classwork, your homework, and whatever projects, and then turn it in. Number 3, And this to me is probably the hardest for incoming freshmen, because I was an incoming freshman counselor only for about 8 years. That's all I had was freshmen. The number one thing they struggled with was asking for help. There's no shame in asking for help. If you don't understand something, or you need some clarification, or you need something re-explained to you, that's why the teachers are there. And many of these teachers will have what's called tutoring or help that they can provide either before or after school. You would check with that particular teacher or check with the particular counselors at that school, and they can give you all the information on where it is to find the help. 3 easy steps: attend, complete work, and ask for help when you need it. High school can be one of the most fun experiences in your life as long as you're involved at school. So the more you're involved at school and the events that go on there, the more fun school can be. So how do you get involved in school? Well, number one, you can join a club. Each one of our schools has 20 plus, sometimes even 30 plus, different types of clubs. Clubs based on activities, clubs based on community service, clubs based on ideas, clubs based on gaming. It's the imagination of you students. That's what determines what types of clubs and how many we have. But if you find something that you're interested in, join the club. You can meet students. You can be involved in the school. It's really nice. If you've never tried out for a sport before, or maybe you're an athlete is your thing, try out for a sport at our schools. You really never know unless you try out. High school is about trying to do things you've maybe possibly never done before, expanding your view of the world, reaching out and trying some new activities. That's why we would like you to maybe try a sport. And then number 3, come and watch the events that happen at the school. Sports events, drama, choir, dance, band, guitar. They all have different events at the school. And many times, not always, but many times those events can be free by using you'll get an ID card for Yuma Union High School District. They'll have your photo and some information on it. And then for many of those events, they're free to attend. So coming there, you can come there with your friends, you can see your other friends, you can see the event or activity that's happening and support your friends that are in those sports or those other activities. The more you're involved in high school, the more fun it is. The opposite of that is you just come here for academics, you get here quickly, you leave quickly, just not nearly as fun. So really think about that as you're beginning your high school years of trying to get involved at the school. I thank you so much for listening to me today. And 8th graders, here's a key point. You're still in middle school or junior high, so you need to finish strong there. You're not a high school student yet. That doesn't happen until August. So please finish strong in your math class, your English class, your science, your social studies classes, so you can learn everything you can before you come to high school and it starts becoming about credits. Okay? You can do this. I promise you, all of us counselors are here to help you get across that finish line to be a Yuma Union High School District graduate. All right, let me kind of turn off this screen here and stop my presenting. And we have some questions that we need to get answers that are asked by some students. So let's see, what are some questions we can answer here?
So one of the questions that a student presented is, what if I don't attend one of the evening registrations? Can I still register? Mrs. Ingersoll, do you mind taking that?
I would love to. Absolutely, you can. And what the beauty of doing this online registration is you don't have to leave your home to do all of this. You don't have to stand or be in a car in a line waiting for your turn. We have everything on our website step by step that we need you to do, but you are welcome to come in the evenings if you need some help and support.
Another question that's been presented, what electives are available at the high schools? Mrs. Amaya or Miss Amaya?
So for the electives, every high school will have a tab on their main website with the course selection forms, and it will show you all the electives that every school has available. There should also be a video or a PowerPoint on there that we will explain briefly about every single class. That includes in the fine arts department, CTE, and other extracurricular activities that are available for you in every high school.
Looks like we have another question here. What is the process for applying for open enrollment? Ms. Remenar, do you want to take that question?
Yes, so for open enrollment, you can go into the district page and you can fill out the form in there. You can also call to make an appointment to pick up that open enrollment form, and then after, the district will review the form and let you know if you've been approved, and then after they will let the school know if what's the next process.
Thank you. And this question it may be unique to each campus, so feel free to jump in, but in high school, because some of the middle schools, they have to wear uniforms at the middle school level. So this is a common question asked by our incoming freshmen, but do students have to wear uniforms at the high school level?
Let me start with Ebola. No, you don't. There's still some things you can and cannot wear, but it's not a uniform. So you're allowed to develop your style, or, wear things within taste. They got to be tasteful. Each school has a few little rules, and that will be in something called a handbook that you have that will specifically say what you can or cannot wear. But no, we do not have uniforms at Ebola.
COFA is the same way that Mr. Swearingen described. It's really good to check out the handbook so that you make sure that you buy clothing that you can wear. We allow almost everything. I mean, just think about it. If mom and dad would see you in front of them, would they say, yeah, that's okay to wear? So check it out. It has to do, you can't wear the little teeny spaghetti straps. You got to be careful what it says on your shirt, nothing appropriate. Boys, you got to be careful how baggy your pants are. So check it out and before you start going shopping.
Same goes for Yuma High School. No, there's no uniform. There is a student handbook where you can follow through with specific dress codes.
Yeah, and those handbooks are at COFA. When do those handbooks typically get to a student?
Well, they get to them typically, honestly, at the beginning of the year. You just got me scratching my head going, is it on our website? And right this second, I don't know. Do you guys have handbooks on your website?
I don't think we do. So that's a pretty good question that we're going to have to investigate a little bit more.
Yeah, because that might make some sense.
Yeah, I think at Ebola, in the past, we've usually had an event where they finish up their they're coming to pay possible fees or do some other get some other information here on campus, and they get their ID card, and typically that's when that handbook gets out. But if you ever have a question about appropriateness of clothes, just call your schools. Just call your schools, and they can kind of help you with that. It would be no problem. But like Ms. Ingersoll said, normal things, no spaghetti straps, that kind of stuff. Boys, you can't, you got to keep your pants kind of up, that sort of thing. But if you want more specifics on it, just call the school, and they can help you out with that. Yuma, does that apply to you guys as well? Awesome.
Same, correct. Mm-hmm.
Okay, wonderful. That is a typical question from incoming freshmen, yes. Are there any other questions, Ms. Lofton?
I don't have any other questions in the chat box right now, but I did want to open it up to the other campuses. I know that they've been contacted by families and students as well with common questions. So if there's any other questions you want to present now, please do.
I had a student inquire about what if their parent doesn't attend any of the evening events? Because honestly, the student said he's out of state right now and doing his work remotely, and will he still be able to get registered for high school? And I said, not to worry. You know, yes, you can do it right now. You could do it today, but we will find ways and have time. Ultimately, we want to get everybody registered and in school.
Yuma High, any other questions that have?
One more question that I did have a couple of students ask was about, what if I don't pass my class in high school? What do I do? And so every high school has credit recovery and summer school. And so it will be very important to meet with your counselor so we can set that up with you. We can give you credit recovery online, or you can attend summer school to make up that missing class that you didn't get credit for.
And Ms. Lofton, I know we've had some questions about, hey, I applied for open enrollment. Like, when am I going to find out when my open enrollment is approved or not approved? And that isn't handled by the individual schools. That's handled at our district office. But typically, I'm just giving you a typical range, students or parents or whoever's watching our video. It's typically between a couple weeks to 8 to 10 weeks. It really just depends on when you put in that open enrollment application and then how things are going. For example, we do have some students or parents that apply for open enrollment during the summer. So it might, you know, they might not find out until late July or August. It just sort of depends. If you apply, that's why it's important to apply as soon as possible if that's what you're trying to pursue, open enrollment, so that they can go through their process, and then you would be waiting for a letter that says you've been accepted to the school that you are looking for. Once you get that letter, everything should be fine then. If you were supposed to go to Yuma High School, but you're trying to go to COFA, you would fill out your registration for Yuma. Go ahead and fill out your course selections for Yuma, because all three schools, Yuma, COFA, and Cibola, we're sharing those course selection information amongst ourselves. So if you end up going to COFA, we can go and look back at the Yuma High School information that you gave for the courses you wanted, and we can make that work for our individual schools. So, and then finally, I want to say, to add in there, students, do not wait until your parents have filled out the registration before you fill out the course selection. If you know you're going to Yuma High School, fill out Yuma High School's course selections along with, at the same time that your parents are doing registration, or if you know they're going to be doing it soon, go ahead and fill it out as soon as you can. And that goes for all the schools, okay? Don't wait for your parent to do the registration and then do the course selection. We really want to kind of see what students are asking for, because that helps the high schools dictate what type of classes they have and what teachers they need to hire. It's a big, long process, but we want the information as soon as we can get it. So please, did I mess anything up there, schools? I guess not. We're good to go. Is there any other questions?
Nope, I think we're good to go here over here at COFA.
Wonderful. All right. So students, thank you very much for joining us today in our presentation. You do not know how excited we are for you to come to our schools. As you've been, you know, everybody's been dealing with COVID and school's been online. We want to see students. We want to see your smiling faces. We want to see your energy. We want to see you passing classes. We want to see you right there at that graduation ceremony. All of us have seen that ceremony so many times, but every single time, little hairs go up on our arms and our necks, because you're about to begin your life, and it's just such a beautiful thing. So we're all here to help you. It doesn't matter which one of these schools that we're representing today you choose, because we're all going to help you get to that point. So finish 8th grade strong, and we will see you in August. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful day.